Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May peace, mercy, and blessings of Allah be upon you all. Prayer is not just a ritual, it's a deep, personal conversation with Allah. When approached with sincerity and understanding, it has the power to transform lives. Today, we'll explore how to speak to Allah in a way that brings you closer to Him, allowing your prayers to be answered. Have you ever felt that your prayers are not being answered? Let's explore why this may be happening and how you can change that. There was once a woman who, despite praying regularly, felt disconnected from her du'as. She questioned why her prayers seemed unanswered. After reflecting deeply, she realized that she was merely going through the motions and not truly engaging with her supplications. She began to focus on her intentions, poured her heart into her du'a, and experienced a profound change. Her prayers began to feel more meaningful, and soon after, she noticed that her du'as were being answered, one by one. Quranic reference, Surah Al-Baqarah 2:186. And when my servants ask you concerning me, indeed, I am near. I respond to the invocation of the supplicant when he calls upon me. Before starting this video, don't forget to like this video because it gives us a lot of strength to continue sharing beneficial content. And I invite you to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell to stay informed of our next publications on the Islamic faith. Share it with your loved ones and leave a comment to tell me what you think. Thank you, and good video. Understanding the importance of intention. In Islam, intention is the foundation of every action. The sincerity and purity behind your dua are critical for it to be accepted. Allah does not look at the outward actions alone, but He looks at what is in the heart. When you make dua with a sincere intention, it aligns your heart with your words, making your prayer more powerful and meaningful. It's not just about asking, it's about the intention behind your supplication. Have you ever thought about the purity of your intentions when making dua? Share your thoughts in the comments. Real story, example. There was a man who, after years of struggling financially, made a sincere dua to Allah. His intention was not just to acquire wealth for himself, but to help others who were less fortunate. His genuine desire to give back to others was noticed by Allah. As time went on, his circumstances changed, and he was blessed with an opportunity that allowed him to help many others, all while his own needs were met. His sincere intention to do good led to his prayers being answered. Surah Al-Baqarah 2109. And Allah is the best knower of your intentions. Be persistent in your prayers. Consistency in prayer is vital, even when it seems like your prayers are unanswered. The act of asking Allah persistently is highly valued. Persistence is not just about repeating your requests, but also about showing unwavering belief in Allah's power and timing. When you continue to pray, you're expressing your trust in His ability to answer, no matter how long it takes. Allah values the sincerity and persistence of a servant who never loses hope. Have you ever doubted the power of persistence in dua? Do you believe Allah will answer your prayers after multiple attempts? Share your thoughts. Real story, example. The story of Prophet Zachariah, is a profound example of persistence in prayer. Despite his old age and his wife's barrenness, Zachariah never gave up praying for a child. His faith remained firm, and he continued to pray for years, even when it seemed impossible. Eventually, his prayers were answered, and Allah blessed him with a son, Yahya, proving that persistence in prayer, even in the face of hardship, brings the most beautiful rewards. Quranic reference, Surah Maryam 19:4-5. He said, "My Lord, indeed my bones have grown weak, and my head has filled with gray, but I have never been in my supplication to you, my Lord, unhappy." Speak from the heart. The importance of emotional connection. Making dua with an emotional connection is more powerful than merely reciting words. When you speak to Allah from the depths of your heart, your supplications become a true conversation. This emotional connection strengthens your bond with Allah and increases the likelihood of your prayers being answered. When you pour out your feelings, your sincerity is felt, and Allah, in His mercy, listens to what is in your heart. Do you make dua with emotion and feeling, or is it just a routine? What does your heart say when you speak to Allah? Let us know in the comments. Real story, past example. There was once a mother who, after her child fell seriously ill, turned to Allah with a heart full of pain and hope. She wasn't just reciting the usual du'as. She spoke from her heart, asking Allah to grant her child health and safety. Her emotional and heartfelt plea was answered, and her child recovered. This story teaches us that Allah listens to the cries of the heart, especially when made with deep sincerity. Quranic reference, Surah Al-Baqarah 46:15. And we have enjoined upon man care for his parents. His mother carried him with hardship upon hardship, and his weaning is in 2 years. Be grateful to me and to your parents. To me is the final destination. Speak with confidence, trusting in Allah's will. When making dua, it is crucial to speak with confidence in Allah's wisdom. Trusting in His plan doesn't mean we stop asking. It means we ask with the belief that He knows what is best for us. Confidently asking Allah for what we need, while submitting to His will, reflects a deep faith that He will answer in the way that's most beneficial for us, even if we don't fully understand His plan at the moment. Do you feel confident when you make dua, knowing that Allah knows what's best for you? Leave a comment on how trusting Allah has helped you. Real story, example. The story of Prophet Ibrahim, R.S., demonstrates perfect trust in Allah's plan. When he was thrown into the fire by his people for his belief, Ibrahim, A.S., didn't despair. He confidently called upon Allah, trusting that Allah would protect him. His complete trust in Allah's will led to a miraculous outcome. The fire turned cool and safe for him. His story teaches us that with full confidence in Allah's wisdom, even the most impossible situations can be overcome. Quranic reference, Surah At-Tawbah 9:51. Say, never will we be struck except by what Allah has decreed for us. He is our protector. And upon Allah, let the believers rely. Don't rush. Trust in Allah's timing. Patience is key when waiting for Allah's response to your prayers. Sometimes we may feel frustrated when our dua is not answered immediately, but we must trust that Allah's timing is perfect. He knows what is best for us, and the right answer will come at the right time, even if we don't understand why it is delayed. Trusting in His timing helps us grow in faith and strengthens our patience. How do you react when your prayers are not answered immediately? Do you trust in Allah's perfect timing? Share your experiences. Real story, example. A man had been praying for financial stability for many years. However, despite his constant prayers, the wealth he hoped for never came when he expected it. Over time, he struggled with doubt, but he continued to pray and trust in Allah. Eventually, his financial stability came, but at a time when he had grown wiser and more disciplined. The delay had taught him important lessons about contentment, gratitude, and hard work. His prayer was answered at the right time, and it changed his life in ways he never expected. Quranic reference, Surah Al-Baqarah 46:17. And we have enjoined upon man care for his parents. His mother carried him with hardship upon hardship, and his weaning is in 2 years. Making dua in times of distress. In times of hardship, dua becomes an even more powerful tool to connect with Allah. When everything feels lost and you're facing distress, It's in these moments that you have the opportunity to strengthen your bond with Allah. Your supplications, made from the heart in the deepest moments of vulnerability, reflect true dependence on Him. Allah listens most attentively when His servants are in need, and He often answers in ways that are beyond our expectations. Have you ever felt closer to Allah during a moment of difficulty? How did your relationship with Him grow? Share your reflections. Real story, example. The story of Prophet Yunus, teaches us the immense power of dua during times of distress. When Prophet Yunus, was swallowed by the whale, he found himself in the darkest and most hopeless of situations. There was no one around, and he was trapped in the depths of the sea. However, it was in this moment of despair that Yunus, turned to Allah with a sincere, heartfelt prayer. He cried out, saying, "There is no deity except you. Exalted are you. Indeed, I have been of the wrongdoers." Surah Al-Anbiya 21:87. His dua came from a place of deep humility and complete surrender to Allah's will. And in that moment of extreme distress, Allah answered his prayer, saving him from the belly of the whale. Yunus, teaches us that even in our lowest moments, when we feel completely helpless, turning to Allah with an honest and heartfelt dua can lead to a miraculous transformation. Quranic reference, Surah Al-Safat, 37, 139 to 140. And indeed, Yunus was among the messengers, when he ran to the laden ship, and he drew lots and was among the losers, and then the fish swallowed him. Dua as a means to strengthen faith. Making dua is not just about asking for something specific. It is a profound means of strengthening your faith and deepening your connection with Allah. Each time you turn to Allah in prayer, you acknowledge His power, mercy, and your dependence on Him. The more sincere your dua, the more you realize the significance of submitting your will to Allah's plan, which strengthens your faith and trust in Him. Dua becomes a reminder that Allah is always near, always listening, and always in control, even when you feel weak. How has making dua strengthened your faith in Allah? Share your story and inspire others. Real story, example. There was a man who, during a challenging period in his life, found himself overwhelmed with difficulties. Struggling financially and emotionally, he felt lost. He turned to Allah, making sincere dua day and night, asking for guidance, patience, and relief. He didn't just ask for the easy solution, but for strength to endure whatever came his way. Over time, his faith in Allah began to grow stronger. Instead of feeling burdened by his problems, he felt a sense of peace, knowing that he had submitted to Allah's will. His prayers were not answered immediately in the way he expected, but the process of making dua regularly led him to develop greater patience, trust, and resilience. In the end, he found not just relief, but a strengthened connection with Allah that he had never experienced before. Quranic reference, Surah Al-Furqan, 2570. Except for those who repent, believe, and do righteous work. For them Allah will replace their evil deeds with good, and ever is Allah forgiving and merciful. Never despair. Allah is always listening. It is important to remember that Allah is always listening, even when it feels like our prayers go unanswered. No matter how long the wait, Allah's timing is perfect. In times of difficulty, it can be easy to lose hope, but we must never despair. Allah's response may not come in the form we expect, but He hears every plea and knows what is best for us. Persistence in dua is a reflection of our trust in Him, and with every prayer, our faith is strengthened, even if the answer takes time. Have you ever felt like giving up on your prayers? How did you overcome that? Let's talk about it in the comments. Real story, an example. There was a woman who had been praying for years for a breakthrough in her career. Every time she applied for a job, she faced rejection. She felt disheartened and almost gave up, questioning if her prayers were being heard. Despite the setbacks, she continued making dua, placing her trust in Allah. One day, an opportunity appeared that she had not anticipated, an unexpected job offer that aligned perfectly with her skills and aspirations. The delay had taught her patience, resilience, and unwavering trust in Allah's plan. In the end, her persistence in dua brought her not just a job, but a life lesson in faith and trust. Quranic reference, Surah Al-Baqarah, 94 verse 5-6. For indeed with hardship will be ease. Indeed with hardship will be ease. Conclusion. The power of trusting. Allah's answer. Trusting. Allah's response to our prayers is crucial, even when His answer differs from our expectations. Allah answers in the best way possible, and while we may not always understand His wisdom, we must trust that He knows what is best for us. Sometimes, His answer may come in a form we didn't anticipate, but it is always for our ultimate benefit, guiding us toward what is truly good for us in this world and the next. How has trusting in Allah's answer impacted your life? Share your reflections and any stories in the comments. Real story example. A man prayed for years for a specific job that he felt would bring him success and happiness. Despite his persistence, he faced rejection after rejection. Feeling disheartened, he continued to trust Allah's plan. Eventually, he landed a different job that he hadn't considered before. This new job not only offered him a higher salary, but also led to more personal growth and opportunities to serve others. Looking back, he realized that the job he initially prayed for wouldn't have aligned with his long-term happiness, and Allah had answered his prayer in the best possible way. Quranic reference, Surah Al-Imran 3:159. So by mercy from Allah, O Muhammad, you were lenient with them, and if you had been rude and harsh-hearted, they would have disbanded from about you. If this video was helpful to you, please share it with your loved ones and leave a comment to tell me what you learned. Your support helps a lot to spread the message and grow this community. Barakallahu fikum.